Okay, so I put together a Machina deck list for a friend of a friend, and this is it. This is a 44 card deck list. The reason I play 44 cards is because we want to stay close to that minimum requirement of 40 cards for consistency, but I wanted to add a couple extra cards so that we have more defensive cards in our deck, and I'll go over those when we get to that point in the profile. Yeah, that's why I play 44 cards. So I play 3 Machina Gear Frame. This is the normal summon of the deck. You only get 1 normal summon per turn. So in general, in Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't want to play too many cards in your deck that need to be normal summoned. So we just play these 3, and there are ways to search these cards too. It's not like you have to draw them to be able to normal summon, but obviously if you do draw these, it's a really good normal summon. So when it's normaled, you get to add a Machina monster from your deck to your hand. And so that's a really powerful effect because not only do you get what you need into your hand, but you get to keep a machine on your field. And so that's important in the way that I built this deck in particular. You'll see that I have more than just Machina cards in here because in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Machina isn't really good enough by itself to be super competitive. I play 1 Machina Unclass Bar and 1 Machina Possess Storage as well. So Unclass Bar has the effect when it's added to your hand to special summon itself. It locks you into summoning machine monsters the turn that you do that, but that's okay because we play mostly machines. And then it has the other effect when it's normal or special summoned, it can send a Machina monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this card has 2 really good effects, and it's part of a lot of your combos, but you don't want to draw it. You want it to be added to your hand or special summoned from your deck. And that's why we only play 1 copy of it, because we don't want to draw it. We want it to stay in our deck, and we want to search it when we need it. I have a copy of Machina Possess Storage because it has the effect to summon back a Machina monster from your graveyard when it's normal or special summoned. But it also has the effect to return one other Machina card you control to your hand and return a spell trap your opponent controls to the hand. And that's really powerful because if your opponent has a spell or trap card that's giving you problems, you can just get rid of it using this card. And so that's why I play each of those. I play 1 Machina Fortress. So this card is pretty central to the Machina strategy. You just discard monsters from your hand, machine monsters whose levels equal 8 or more, to special summon this card. And you can use that effect while it's in your hand or in your graveyard, and you can use that effect as many times as you want during your turn. It has other strong on-field effects as well, but we mainly use it as a way to get more machines on the field if we need it to do that. So, really good card for the purpose of getting monsters on your field. I play 1 Machina Megaform and 1 Machina Irradiator. So there is a combo with these 2 cards and really any of your Machina monsters, but I play Metal Cruncher for the combo. So Metal Cruncher, when it's summoned, can reveal 3 Earth Machines to your opponent, and your opponent randomly picks 1 to add to your hand. But the catch is, if you reveal 3 Earth Machines that are the same name, your opponent has to add, any one of these to your hand. You're going to get what you want, okay? So you can use Metal Cruncher to add Gear Frame to your hand. But the question is, how can you special summon this card to get the effect? Well, I'll show you. So Irradiator has the effect, let's say you have these 2 cards in your hand. Irradiator has the effect to discard another Machina monster to special summon it, and then it has the effect to target a Machina in graveyard and summon it by destroying one of your machine monsters. So you can destroy itself, because it's a machine, to just summon back your Megaform. Megaform has the effect to tribute itself to summon a Machina monster from your deck. So you can summon your Metal Cruncher, which can then reveal 3 Gear Frame. Your opponent will add 1 to your hand, and then you can normal summon your Gear Frame and add another Machina monster. And so that's one way that you can special summon your Metal Cruncher from your deck if you have these 2 cards in your hand. And so it's a really cool play that Machinas can do, and that's why we play those cards. Now, the last 2 Machina monsters I play are Citadel and Ruin Force. So Citadel is the whole reason to play Machina, right? He's the cool boss monster of your deck. He has the ability to summon himself from your graveyard if one of your face-up Earth Machines is destroyed. He also has 3,000 attack, which is great. He also has the effect to Quick Effect. Target a machine monster you control, and you destroy that machine monster, and all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it. So if you target itself, you can destroy all your opponent's monsters with 3,000 or less attack. And that's super powerful because you can do that on your opponent's turn. Ruin Force is like a combination of Citadel and Fortress with the way that its effect works. So like Fortress, it can summon itself as many times as you want during your turn, but instead of discarding machine monsters from your hands whose levels equal 8 or more, like Fortress, it banishes machine monsters from your graveyard whose levels equal 12 or more. And so it's a really good way, just like Fortress, to keep summoning and getting more bodies onto your field which again, I'm going to go over in just a second why that's so important in this deck, to be able to summon multiple times, multiple machine monsters to your field. It also has 4,600 attack, by the way, so this is like one of the most powerful cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not very many cards in your main deck can have that much attack. This might be one of the strongest ever. Okay, so now I do play a couple other cards than just Machina cards. I play one RB GA10 Driller, one RB GA10 Cutter, and one RB Falcon Rocket. So what do these cards do? Why are they here? So RBs is an archetype that helps any machine deck. So Machina is a machine deck, and so the RBs can really help them out. So all the RBs monsters have the effect to summon themselves from your hand if you control no monsters, or if you control only RB monsters. Okay, and they all have additional effects on the field that are really strong if one of your RB Link monsters, which plot twists we're playing RB Link monsters, if one of your RB Link monsters point to them, they get another really strong effect. And it all works together with the Machina cards to create a really powerful strategy with powerful combos. So that's why we play the RB cards, and I can show you a little combo at the end if you want that can help you see why the RB's monsters are such a good addition to a Machina deck. I play one Theorion King Regulus. This card has the ability to negate any of your opponent's card effects, which is really powerful, and so that's why we play it. It's an Earth machine as well, so it really synergizes well with our strategy. That's it for all of the offensive monster cards that I play. Now for the defensive ones, I play 3 Nibiru the Primal Being. I play 3 Mulchummy Fuwalos. These are all common, so they're not too hard to find and buy. I have 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I have 2 Droll and Lockbird. So the reason we play defensive cards in our deck is because we want to stop our opponent when they go first and slow them down. And so our defensive monster cards help us to do that. And I play a fair bit of them. That's why we play 44 cards in our deck, is because I wanted to fit in room for lots of defensive cards. All right, I play 3 Machina Redeployment. So these are the spell cards that don't really do anything for your strategy. They just help you get to the monsters more often. So they help your consistency. So Machina Redeployment is your Machina consistency booster. And then RB Stage Landing can summon an RB monster from your deck or extra deck. So this is your RB consistency booster. And then RB Funk Duck is a field spell that can search any RB card. So you have more consistency. And then we have one Theorion Disc Coliseum to be able to search our Theorion cards. So these cards are really just here to add consistency, and they have some additional effects as well, which you should read up on and figure all those out. I play 1 Terraforming to search either Theorion Disc Coliseum or RB Funk Duck, the RB field spell. So it's a really good card because it's flexible. It can search multiple parts of your deck. I play 1 Clockwork Knight. This card boosts your monsters by 500 attack and defense, and it lowers your opponent's monsters by 500 attack and defense. So it helps you kill your opponent, and then there's a monster in our extra deck, which I'll show you right now, Clockwork Knight, that searches this card. So that's why we play it, because it works really well with our strategy and helps us to kill our opponent. It also makes all of our opponent's monsters machines, which sometimes will be a relevant effect. A lot of the times it doesn't really matter, but it can come up. And it has a graveyard effect. You can banish it from your graveyard and discard a card to search your deck for any Earth machine monster. So that's also really good. I play 1 defensive spell, Called by the Grave. We play for trap cards, we play Machina Overdrive and RB Next Phase. So Machina Overdrive is our Machina trap card. It can destroy a monster, a machine monster that we control, to special summon a Machina monster with a different name from our hand or deck. And so basically this lets us summon our Machina, where did he go? Our Machina Citadel from our deck, which is really strong. And then it also has a graveyard effect to shuffle back 3 of our banished machines or machines in our graveyard to draw a card. And so this really helps us to have machines in our deck for when we have a really long duel and we have multiple turns where we have to have resources in our deck. Machina Overdrive is really important for that. And RB Next Phase basically just lets us negate one of our opponent's monster effects when we have an RB monster on the field. So this is a really good card. You can set it from your deck during your combos. I play 3 Infinite Impermanence. It's just a generic defensive trap card, but you can play it from your hand if you control no cards. So really good card to play in basically any deck, but especially this deck. All right, now for our extra deck, I play 2 RB Falcon Rockets, 2 RB the Brute Blues, and 1 RB Shepherd's Crook. We need these cards because in order for our RB monsters in our main deck, they need to have RB link monsters that point to them to gain their effects. So that's why we play RB monsters in our extra deck. And all of these RB monsters here in our extra deck can search our RB cards. So if you can get to these cards, you can get to any of your RB cards. And so how do you summon these cards? Well, they just require you to have 2 machine monsters, or sometimes 2 or more machine monsters. The only one that requires an RB monster is Shepherd's Crook. But Brute Blues just needs 2+ machine monsters, and Falcon Booster just needs 2 machine monsters. And that's why it's so important in this deck to be able to put any type of machine on the field. It could be your Gear Frame, it could be your Unglassbar, it could be your Machina Fortress, it doesn't matter. As long as you can get to 2 machines on the field, you can do a lot of cool combos. And so that's why the RB cards synergize super well with the Machina cards. We also play Clockwork Knight. This is the card that searches Clockwork Knight, the spell card, like I was saying. It can also summon back a machine monster from your graveyard too, which sometimes comes up. We play 1 copy of Ancient Gear Ballista. This card basically lets you destroy one of your own spell and traps to change one of your opponent's monsters' attack to 0, which is important for killing your opponent. We play Barricade Board Blocker. This card can add a continuous or field spell from your graveyard to your hand by discarding a card, but it adds it back during the end phase. That's really nice though, because sometimes we need to have resources for a follow-up turn. We also play 1 IP Masquerena and SP Little Knights and Scareclaw Triheart. These cards are not machines, so you won't be able to use these cards if you lock yourself into machine monsters, but you don't always have to do that. And so sometimes these cards are nice to have in your extra deck just as generic ways to interact with your opponent and try to gain the advantage. But you're welcome to try any extra deck monsters that you want. I play Springham's Merrymaker and Gigantic Champion Sargus. Basically, these are just XYZ monsters where if we have 2 level 4s or 2 level 8s, we can get to our Theorion cards. So it's a way to make our Machinas a way to get to our Theorions, which is really good because we can negate our card with Theorion King Regulus, right? So just as a reminder, Theorion King Regulus is this guy that can negate any of your opponent's cards. So that's why we play these guys. I play Zeus and Typhon as my last 2 cards. These are generic XYZ cards. So what's really cool about Zeus is not only is he generic, but he's a machine. So even if we machine lock ourselves, we can still play Zeus. And I don't really have a side deck all put together. You can really use a side deck for whatever you want. I like to try and think of whatever deck I go up against. I try to pick cards for my side deck that are really good at beating that deck that I play against a lot. But generically good cards like Triple Tactics Talent and Forbidden Droplet are really good because this deck doesn't use the extra deck a whole lot. You can play Pot of Extravagance. It's another option. You can play something like Harpy's Feather Duster, Raigeki, Lightning Storm, really anything that you want that is just generically good at beating whatever deck you end up facing the most. Okay, so now time for a combo. So I'll show you a combo that you can do if you open up Machina Redeployment and any card to discard with it. So you can activate your redeployment and discard whatever. Okay. Oh, that glare is really bad. What if I turn my cards upside down? It's whatever. Just deal with the glare. Okay. So I'm going to discard and search for Irradiator and Megaform. I'm going to then use my Irradiator to discard my Megaform and summon itself, and then use the effect to destroy itself to summon the Megaform. And now I'm going to use Megaform's effect to tribute itself and special summon a Machina monster from my deck. I'm going to summon Metal Cruncher. And I'm going to use Metal Cruncher's effect to reveal 3 Earth Machines. My opponent picks 1 for me to add. Here, I'll let you pick. Which one would you like? This one? Okay. I'll add this one to my hand. Now I'll normal summon my Machina Gear Frame and activate the effect. I'm going to search for Unclassbar. When Unclassbar is added to my hand, it can special summon itself. And then I'll use the effect to send a Machina monster from my deck to the graveyard. We're going to send Machina Citadel. Now I'm going to use these 2 level 4 machines to overlay for... Remember, we're locked into machines because we use Unclassbar's effect to summon itself from the hand for Merrymaker. And then this can be used as material for Champion Sargus. And then I'm going to use the effect. And let me see if I have to detach from this card to use this effect. Nope. I just get to use the effect to add a Theorion card from my deck to my hand. So I'm going to grab actually my Theorion field spell. I'm going to use the field spell. Pretend this is a field zone I'm activating it in. I'm going to search for Theorion King Regulus. So I'm going to use Regulus. I'm not going to use Regulus yet. You're going to hold on to the Regulus in your hand. Okay, so that's just sitting in the hand. So I have 2 machine monsters on field here. That means I have enough material for my RB Falcon booster to link summon it. Let me see if I can move my camera a little bit. Okay, hopefully you can see my extra monster zones a little bit. So I'll summon my RB link monster here and search my deck for an RB card. I'm going to search for my RB field spell, Funk Duck. I'm going to activate it to search my deck for one of my RB monsters. You can really go for anything you want here. I'm going to go for Cutter. So Cutter has the effect to summon itself from the hand if I only control RBs, and because I only control Falcon Booster, I'm going to special summon it. Then it has the effect to negate a spell or trap card that my opponent activates if an RB monster, a link monster, points to it, which it does right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to link summon here for Clockwork Knight. Then I'm going to use Falcon Booster's other effect. So Falcon Booster has another effect to summon back an RB monster. I'm going to summon my Cutter here. And now I have a link 2 and a link 1, and that is going to let me make RB Shepherd's Crook. So I used an RB monster so I can make Shepherd's Crook. Shepherd's Crook has the ability to set from our deck an RB trap card. So I'm going to set the one that lets us negate one of our opponent's monster effects. I'm just going to leave it face up for reference, but normally you set it, right? So it would be face down. So I'm going to leave it face up for reference. I'm going to use Theorion King Regulus now, and I'm going to summon my Gear Frame. Really important, when you summon your Shepherd's Crook, make sure it points to the RB monster. Okay, so I'm going to use my Gear Frame's effect now to summon itself. That's one of its other effects. If it's equipped to one of your monsters, I can use the effect to summon itself. So this is our combo. We have Theorion King Regulus, which can negate the cards. That's one interaction. We have RB Next Phase, which can negate another card. And then when it does that, it has to destroy a monster I control. So for example, we can destroy our Machina Gear Frame. Because an Earth Machine was destroyed, we can use Machina Citadel's effect. It can summon itself, and then Machina Citadel can, of course, destroy one of our opponent's cards, or multiple of our opponent's cards, so that's another interaction. And then Cutter has the ability to negate a spell or trap card that our opponent activates. Funk Duck has another effect. When one of your RB monsters is destroyed by card effect, or leaves the field by card effect, it can summon one of your RB monsters from your deck. So I'm going to summon my Driller, which has the effect to quick effect destroy itself and then one of my opponent's monsters. So we have a monster destroy, a spell trap negate, destroying multiple monsters. We have a monster negate, and then we have a negate for anything. We did all of that off of just a card to discard plus Machina redeployment. So that's just an example of a combo you can do. There are a bunch of combos you can do with this deck, and almost all of them require just seeing one of your cards that lets you get to Machina Gear Frame, or one of your RB cards that lets you get to your RB stuff. Machina Redeployment gets you to everything. There's so many things you can do with this deck. If you just get to 2 machines on the field, even that alone is enough to play lots of Yu-Gi-Oh! With this deck. So I hope you enjoy the deck profile and can reference it if you need help remembering stuff. But I encourage you to take this deck list and innovate on it, improve it, put your own touches on it, learn the cards that I showed you, and try your best to make it your own and to have fun with it and to be competitive with it. Until next time, duel on. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, this card needs to be in your deck too. I forgot to put it in. This is the 45th card, so you have 45 cards in your main deck. This is RB Operation Test. It's a really strong card with good effects, but the main reason we need to play this card is to have a continuous spell to send to the graveyard so that we can resolve or even activate the effect of our Clockwork Knight, which searches our Clockwork Knight, the continuous spell in our deck. And that card is good at doing a couple different things, but you can't search this card if you don't have a continuous spell that's part of your deck, and so we need RB Operation Test to do this. You could play the Machina continuous spell, Defense Perimeter, but I think that card is a lot worse than Operation Test, so that's why you want to play this instead. Okay, that's it.